as they open things up in the pistol of Overpass on that CT side. But Furia, they got a couple mollies, a couple smokes. They definitely have a plan going into this one.
Yeah, no doubt about that. As they are lining up some utility as we speak here, and a lot of presence going to be over to Connector. What do they want to do with this? Do they want to just explode? I think this is like the best chance to get close range fights if you decide to come up Connector and attack into bathrooms for that angle. Like, it kind of closes the distance on USPs really quickly, so I think that's like a big advantage you can gain. But also they could, you know, look to go to short B as well. But indeed, they will be trickling their way back up. They have the exact smokes you would want for an execute. They can, you know, smoke off bank, smoke off dumpster, maybe molly behind default, or maybe molly by the truck, and just try to clear out as many angles as they can, and just try to run in here and trade.
And really, there's just Poison kind of jiggling from Dice at the moment. He gets a nice headshot. Falls back as he receives a headshot as well, but it's a Glock, so he is able to still stay alive, but he can't do much more from back. He's got his teammates cycling on through. Nice nades coming through, actually. Yuri's down to very low, but might not matter. Vinny is on top of things with a triple, with that Glock, finding every headshot as the Complexity players spill out of these choke points. Vinny is going to have everybody here looking for the ace as he drops down. He wants it, and he's going to get it. The ace for Vinny on the pistol. That's how you start off a second map, especially after that Mirage result. Furia are surely going to be lifted after that performance.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. Again, just had the basic smokes they needed to get that space in A, and it forced the CTs to have to feed through, and they just ran through the blender. Vinny, again, that new aggressor on the team, coming away from peripheral, being a more active player on this T side for this team, and he picks it up right away with an ace, so that's about as good as it gets if you're him.
And now it settles down a little bit. We do get that force buy coming in from Complexity, which I like to see. However, Yuri is going to go down straight away. Poison will go down to Yuri straight away. And we're going to see that pace continue to be slow here. Fury don't want to put anything to chance. And here comes the next play from Complexity. The two-man push into the short B position. And they will get a trade out of it. So now we have a 3v4. And with those deagles out and the scout on Blame, Complexity still have some firepower here. It's a great position for that scout. Good connection for Blame. Puts the damage on two players. And oh my god, 3 tags. That is huge. These deagles will be absolutely deadly. Config, he gets who actually had quite a lot of health. And all of a sudden, things are looking really sketchy for Furia. They'll go for that fast rotation into the B bomb site, but this round is by no means a given for them.
No, not at all. There's some softened targets out there between Yuri and Vinny at the very least. They are going to get into a free B bomb, so at least they're going to get that bomb plant and get that initial bit of breathing room. But oh my goodness, Rush! He says no. He gets there right at the right time, right as the bomb was about to make its way in. He greets them with that deagle. That is so disturbing that he was able to catch that timing. Now it's all on Vinny, all alone. Rush picks up an AK. Vinny boxed in here inside the site with no way to escape. He has to continue these kills he got from the previous round, but he can't do it. Rush, what a play. My goodness, the quad kill to split this 1-1 right off the bat.
That is nuts, isn't it? That doesn't really compute all the way. Rush breaking the equation there. That is such a ridiculous series of kills.
They were so close to getting by.
They were. So, again, as you said, this timing is, like, it can't be better. It cannot be better. Rush, yeah, he's fortuitous. He is serendipitous. He gets the timing, but he hits the shots as well. And the shots before that as well, those first 2 kills. And that is an insane way for Furia to start things off. After that ace from Vinny, Complexity do one better. Rush with that deagle.
Ouch.
And now the money is ruined for Furia. They have to force buy into this round. They've got to win this one. And there's a couple AKs on Complexity. Complexity are in really good shape here.
Absolutely. All the firepower that they could pretty much want. All the free AKs. Definitely going to love that. As we see Furia wasting no time, working their way up long right now. They're actually going to go ahead and get Art boosted up on top of the flower box, clearing out everything. So they're working very quickly this direction. And we know that Art likes that fast pace, that up-tempo play style. And he's going to be leading the charge. Is he going to catch a timing? There might be this chance where he catches one vulnerable, but no, Poison flicks over.
Okay. All right, Poison. Very flicky indeed, but Vinny's got something to say about that. Poison's got to do more here. He's got no health to work with, but he's found a great angle. Eventually, though, Keserato will expose him. And now Furia have a chance again in the round as they go for the plant. 3 players to the 2 of Complexity. A lot of retake utility here. That HE's going to find Yuri. Beautiful. And now the flashes will come through to delay Complexity and their positioning. And the bomb's got to be recovered. It's really annoying position for Furia to be in. That means they have to abandon the bathroom's control for now. They're going to have to fall back off the bomb plant itself. This is going to help out Complexity. Great headshot once again. Henny comes into play, but Rush, he wants the clutch. Henny has no health. Rush is really well set up for this. There's the smoke to try to pressure that plant. He can tap the bomb and try to force out his opponent. Now will Henny go for the shots here? What does Rush decide to do? He comes off of it. He's looking for those shots. Henny's given his position away. Rush has set himself up, but he can't close it this time. He was so close. Good effort. But you know what? Furia went down to the last man dust.
Yeah, they did. It's so much economic damage being done. That is for certain. A lot of rebuying having to go off, but man, that has to hurt if you're Rush. I feel like he did everything right. He just didn't happen to win that fight against Henny, but everything else, it was so well formulated. Almost pulled off another big play. Would have almost been unfair if he did it again to them after the Deagle played from the previous, but yeah, it is going to be limited firepower now for Complexity, but maybe they still have a chance to punish the low econ of Furia. It's that scrappy start, that back and forth beginning. Config with the Deagle this time around. He's good for one. The shot through connector. Going to be annoying, but not going to find a frag.
You can see Rush put down that smoke as well to delay the monster players. And this smoke is so annoying, and you can see there's another re-smoke of this position for Rush. It's a little bit deeper, but it does more or less the same, although you can see that bridge position's a little bit less covered, so Rush has got to be a bit more careful around the barrels. But they can't really do anything whilst the smoke is up, and it gives time. They can go for cheeky plays like this. Rush finds a Deagle frag, and now Poison. They surely won't expect him to be in this position. If he can get a headshot out of this, that would be absolutely enormous for Complexity's chances in this round. But Furia, with the time that they have, they're holding, they're looking for the flank, but will they get the right timing? In comes Blaine, but with the UMP, it's not got the range for that engagement. He's going to have to back away, and Poison, he never got a chance for this boost. But does this help Complexity? Because Blaine's still on the flank, effectively.
Yeah, he is. He decided pretty early on after he got spotted to get out of there, and he's actually going to bypass them all and actually run all the way up long, but will he get caught by K-Serrano? K-Serrano indeed in the bathrooms, hearing all of this, wins that fight, a big one to win. That's the duel they need to get the man advantage back and get this bomb into the A site here. Poison and Oboe might still be able to cause a problem, but they are certainly on the back foot, and it's going to get worse with that frag, and there's just no way in, it seems. As we are going to see Vinny finish things off. Finally, 2 rounds in a row are going to take place in this half.
It is cool,
might
though.
be what Furia needs.
Yeah, Complexity really making it intense.
Yeah.
These rounds, just a couple smoke grenades around that pillar and barrels position. It just suddenly, just from 0 to 100 in terms of how intense it feels for the T players. You're like suddenly stuck and you can't move forwards. It's really difficult to deal with.
Right.
And he even somehow got a frag out of it. But this should be a given.
Yeah, you would think so.
This should be fine.
This is where you get to catch your breath, I feel like, if you're Furia. You just got battered on the first map. You've had a really stressful start to this one on your pick. But now this is where you can get a bit comfortable. Just the USPs, the 1P250 on config.
Holding positions. Indeed, it does look more comfortable. The smoking jackets out, the slippers are on. Cursory glance through the morning paper before moving on to round, or rather phase 2 of the round, where they need to make a decision. The only issue here is that you don't have any information or ground to work off of, so eventually you just have to say, well, I guess we'll go into A or B.
Yeah.
So choose one of those two.
They don't have that much utility either. They have like enough just for the basic hit on A, like the typical smoke, spank, and dumpster, and a couple of flashes to work with, maybe a Molotov for Optimus or something, but other than that, got to be careful. Vinny exploding the door. Just kind of taking a check here towards Shorby. There are definitely a couple of CTs in that area. The A defense is what is most light for them, as they are going to be working that bomb up middle right now. It is just Poison kind of in that area, and he's been caught already there by Art. There's no presence here, so again, as we expected, a pretty easy mop-up.
Vinny's going to have a lot of frags coming his way. Looking for that one kill. I like this. They know that Vinny's the guy guarding the flank, that he's going to be alone. Nice stuff from Vinny. He's going to kill everybody. And it makes a lot of sense for Complexity to do that kind of a challenge, because you know, again, that's the guy on the extremity. If you get that kill, you can steal away an AK into the next round. That's your winning criteria in that moment. So love that Complexity went for that charge-up connector. But back into the buy, and we won't see an AWP. Complexity's economy is not quite there yet.
Right.
And so that's going to limit their options perhaps a little bit.
Luckily, even watching Poison back in his previous team, he was definitely a guy who was capable with a rifle in his hand. So I don't think it's going to hamstring them that much. Though obviously an op is so useful on the CT side of Overpass. You can control so many long angles with it, particularly towards the A side of the map. So I'm sure they'll want to get it as soon as they can, but at least you know that Poison can still contribute with an M4. As we are seeing Furia very quickly controlling short B area. Kind of one of their favorite things to do besides default. And really kind of the meta of this map has been a lot of T teams shifting to going for quick short B rather than just like always 3-1-1-ing or something like that.
Oh, they got
triple boost.
Triple boost in this position. That is very unusual. Art gets himself a double. Doesn't see the next player, but they have surely done more than enough damage. It's just Blame. There's nobody else. He's got no help, no support, nothing to work with. No utility either. Well, he's actually, I think, found an incendiary on the floor, but I think he would rather have a smoke, but he'll get nothing. The headshot comes through, and the round is over.
I haven't seen that.
I haven't seen the triple boost there either.
No, I think that might be some fresh news. As soon as I thought there was no more boost to be found on this map, apparently there is that. That is nasty.
It's the regular boost there is already really strong because...
But it only seems like barrels, right? Or like maybe inside the site. That was insane.
Because there's a lot of boosts where you'll have to jump on the guy's head for him to stand so you can get the elevation, which if the other team is looking for it, that can be a horrible problem and make a sound cues, all that kind of stuff. But that boost is really good because you can do it without that. The guy can just stand, you can just jump on his head, crouch jump on his head. But they added a new dimension to it, which is now this boost can actually see every single position on the bomb site. So you just kill everyone.
That's crazy.
It is pretty crazy.
Good time to break that out when you need to win this map.
Absolutely, yeah.
To the finals.
I'm sure they're not too pleased to have to bring it out before the finals, but you know what? You do what you can to win.
Yeah, I've never seen that before. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I'm not saying that it's never been used before, but I personally hadn't seen it.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Do like to see that.
Lovely. Well, Complexity are certainly having a hard time here on their CT side so far. We need to see those AWPs coming out, that is for sure. They've been lacking in the AWP department. Good HE coming through here against the fast B pressure. Once again, we see that smoke. This is such an important defensive smoke. Dropped by Rush. Slow things down a little bit. Making sure he can spray that. Wrapping around it, Vinny. Able to make sure that the side is under control. Hard going all the way around. Rush still gets the kill. That's just so ridiculous,
That's just annoying, isn't it? Like,
it is just annoying. Just a nuisance. What a nuisance.
Yeah, Rush... very much at home on that bomb side. He's played B defensively on Overpass for multiple teams throughout his career, so can definitely have some impact here and there. A couple of guns might get carried over here by Complexity. They do have the M4 still on Poison, the UMP still on Blame F. Money definitely becoming a problem for Complexity, but they're also starting to approach max loss bonus, so they should still have a pretty good buy next round, and it might even finally include Poison having an AWP, which would be really nice to have considering how well he's played this tournament thus far.
Yeah.
He's been crushing it, statistically speaking, in almost every category.
Yeah, it feels like the way forward for Complexity has to be playing that more aggressive, disruptive style. And as you say, like they have the skill to do it. They've been lacking the weaponry and going for some of those more aggressive, fountain control plays where you can take Fountain, you can always back away afterwards, but just like smoke off that T-ramp position or going more aggressive towards connector and short B at the same time, get that pinch on. Just give the T something to retake in their default as opposed to just giving them the map control for free. And that, I think, could definitely make a difference. And we'll see if that's going to be the call here for Complexity. Now they move into their next buy round.
Yeah, they did have a pause coming in. I think this is actually technical. I think config had a bit of an issue, so they're going to be sorting them out. Then we'll get into the thick of it. But yeah, we'll finally see a goodbye, I think. That's at least one good thing. But then we'll actually get to see Complexity's real defense and see what they're made of. Don't want to say too much because I saw config's headset off, so I don't want to jeopardize things, but...
I'm hoping that we're going to see something like a Fountain aggression or a short B aggression from Complexity. That's kind of what I'm hoping to see.
Yeah. That or if Poison does happen to get an AWP, which I will or will not say if he will, then that's when you can play kind of that, I would say like safe aggressive style where you kind of take forward position and you can kind of just slowly fade back and there's not that much risk involved. So I think that would be something that they would like to be able to do as well.
There's just so much, and this is such a fun position for Furia as well, because they get to call, they get to anticipate. Okay, we know Complexity probably going to switch things up about now. This is kind of that timing in a match where a team might want to switch things up. Maybe this is a good round to go for a super fast play somewhere to catch them off guard. If we think they're going to go aggressive A, we can do a super fast play B. That's our gamble. Stuff like that. That's what the in-game leaders might be thinking about. But now we get to see exactly what's going on. And it looks like Furia are going towards this fountain position, and Complexity are playing pretty passive, actually, pretty default.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I think they just want to give Poison a chance to work this AWP, and he's boosted on top of the flower pot, and he will get the kill onto Henny. Looks for more, finds the dome of Vinny. Yuri, though, actually a pretty nice trade with the AK from long range. Finally stops the rot, but still an advantage here for Complexity. K-Sara's also been hit up pretty hard, and BlameF actually sliding in that close position, which, I mean, usually gets checked, but he can also play a bait and switch on that rotator, which is going to be config, I think. So that could be a pretty stout defense to have to deal with. Could lead to a trade.
There's the flash to deal with his position.
Nicely done.
Maybe he was hoping they would miss that setup. But no, config needs to bust out that fabled config aim on the A-bomb side. He will have some support coming in, but not in the ideal position. He might have to take a fight before he can get the help that he needs over there by the dumpster to see what he can do. Config's trying to swing around, but the flight from Rush actually doing the job. The bomb is now down. All of a sudden, just like that, Furia have been wiped out. Great defense from Complexity. Rush really did so much work with that one flank, that presence, that threat on the flank. Right. Really killed every position that Furia had left.
Also got to give you credit to Poison, how he opened the round, just making sure that Cole basically had the man advantage all the way through.
I like how he goes from all that. You can't really deny him that. Whether you want to say that's an overpeak or whatever, he's feeling it, man. You've got to give it to him.
Yeah, he's been absolutely crushing it. There's no doubt about that. So we are going to see a more B-heavy opening here from Furia, but we also have a bit of a boost going on from BlameF and Connector, and he's not going to find a kill, but Poison and Obo sure did. They used that distraction to find their own angles and get some big frags. Art does get one back, but man, it's just getting intense here as we see Poison step out for yet another, a 4-on-2 very early in the round.
This is looking great for Complexity and might just get a snappy flick here potentially for Poison, or maybe not. It's going to be dead on his angle as he waits. Beautiful work from him, Poison. And BlameF finish off the round, and this is it, Dust. When Complexity, when they get to get the punches in before Furia are set up into their third phase of the round, into attacking a bomb site, they are outperforming Furia in those positions. What a insane shot from Poison. We need to see that one again if at some point. But that was pretty nuts.
Don't have time for it. That's fair enough. But that was nasty. But here we go. Another round among us here, as we are going to see again both teams still fully bought out. Poison this time, he's looking to get even more, man. He was pushing that smoke. Didn't quite find anything to shoot at, but still gets away. But here comes that Connector push, but he's ready for it. He's so fast, man. He reminds me very much of a guy like Henny or Cirque with that fast firing speed. He's so accurate.
And he gets away scot-free as well. Config caught on the pressure forwards, but he will get traded eventually, but Poison's back in action. Config gave Poison some space to work with that kill, and Poison is going to knock every single player down with that AWP of his. He is an indomitable force, immovable from that A-bomb side at this point. K-Sarato's got the Krieg, he's got it lined up. The Poison's going to move into the angle eventually, I'd imagine. Or will he just hold on to this position? He has teammates to worry about the front of the bomb site. There's the spot. And now they know where that last player is. K-Sarato has a hell of a job on his hands. He finds Poison. That's a great start. 2 more players to go now. 2 more headshots to find for K-Sarato. Good HE behind the dice as well, although because of Counter-Strike, sometimes the nades don't do anything at all, and this is one of those cases. And great bait set up from Complexity to finish it off. They play the 2v1 excellently there, and that's going to be another round on the board for them.
I have to say, they also kind of got away with robbery in some ways. Like Config, I feel like, got caught in a spot where it seemed like he was stranded and it was actually in a lot of trouble, but he's just, through brute force, pure aim, able to fight his way out of it.
Yeah, you're completely right. He shouldn't have been able to get a kill there, but he does. Yeah. And it made all the difference.
Painful if you're Furia. You feel like you got to take advantage of those situations. When you cause someone to be stuck in awkward space, you have to be able to leverage that, and they couldn't. And now it's Complexity knocking on the door of a 5th round on the heels of Furia to set up a potential tie here soon. Certainly going to be a tough one on Furia this round. Not much to work with. BlameF playing up close, and he might be fed a few frags here. There's 1 and a 2, and gets the bomb down. Poison also chiming in.
And at this point, you know, Poison on the bomb side is going to be unstoppable. They don't really have the firepower to deal with him. There doesn't seem to really be any kind of way that they should be able to enter a bomb site. It would surely require a miss. A big miss from one of these Complexity players. They're happily set up on the site now. Config close, Poison far. Poison's protected. And they will try to do what they can. They will try to move forwards, edging closer and closer, but it feels like Complexity have found out now how they deal with Furia, and it is very much the early to mid-round aggression. That's where they get the punches in, that floor Furia, take the wind out of their sails, and prevent them from getting set up to attack a bomb site, which is where the Furia are strongest.
Another kill there from Poison, though, continuing to build up what has been an incredible stat line from him here in Anaheim. Config finished the job, but yeah, it's just Poison, man. Top in the charts in rating, KD difference, damage per round. I mean, just, you know, everything virtually.
And Furia, they call a tactical timeout. They've run out of ideas here, it seems. Well, they may not have run out of ideas, but what they have currently been doing, obviously, is not working. And again, it is about Complexity hitting those early to mid-round aggressions before Furia have finished running a default where Furia are really struggling. So in the face of that, Furia need to find either faster timings towards the site, or they need to find a way to counter these setups. Those are really the only two options available, but just running defaults, they can't continue to do that kind of play now. The thing is, they haven't even run like a classic default yet either. Like, they've been playing kind of this like 2-1-2 play where they just kind of like put 2 outside B, they have like 1 connector, maybe 2 connector, and then just a really passive presence toward Fountain. So they either need to go like all the way on Fountain and really try to get control of that, or I feel like a B set piece could come into play. So I just kind of feel like you're talking about, something kind of has to change. Well, Yuri's going to take down Poison. That's the big win right at the beginning. Trying to mix up the aggression complexity. And look at the stack that they've gone for. They've gone for a 4-man B stack. So they understood that Furia took that tactical timeout, and they were thinking that maybe a heavy B play was coming in. And with Poison so aggressive in connector, that also shows a presence where oh yeah, surely they can't be also just playing nobody else on A, because why would he be so aggressive on A, in around as an A player,
right,
if there's no setup on A still? So trying to trick Furia to move towards B, if that wasn't already their plan, perhaps.
Yeah, they now shuffled back, though. They have their 2 players. They're going to have the bait and switch set up over here towards long A with Config playing the close corner, and BlameF kind of playing here from the backside, but he also has to worry about bathrooms and middle. So there's a lot of angles having to be covered by limited resources, but now Rush is also here to kind of help out. And the utility is starting to pour in, so Furia definitely looking to knock on the door of this A bomb site and try to barge their way in. But can they find the trades?
Yeah, they're really committed to this A site now. And oh, that's a great headshot from Keserato. Doesn't seem like Complexity can do too much here. They originally had 3 players on the site and kind of rotated them out. They weren't too sure about it. And then they lost that key kind of forward position where maybe they could get those kills in before the smokes would land. Some nice damage off of the HE, and the Incendiary is going to clear some position. But again, at this point, it's not really all that much that Rush can do except just hold these exits as he backs away. Great round from Furia. They are able to find that push and
a drought of 4 rounds, but they're back.
And I mean, ultimately, it seems like that was really that was one of the convincing arguments to finish on A as well. Once Poison's gone, you know, the AWP is out of their hands, and he's been that really horrendously difficult player to deal with on that A site.
Definitely a big catch to get him so early in that one. Credit to Yuri, kind of taking a new position on this team, playing that connector role. Able to win a big 1v1, which kind of led to a victory here for Furia. Got a big tool off the board. Complexity was hoping to use in that round. And so, again, after some time off, Furia are going to put a stop to Complexity right as they were about to tie up the game, basically. But still anyone's half at this point, the way it's been playing out here recently. And here we go.
Furia back on top. Looking to get rid of the CT economy with a successful round here. That would really seal the deal in terms of Having a very strong scoreline going to the second half. Great boost, and these cheeky plays have really come in handy for Complexity. Another victory with one of those.
Yeah, they've been going for that a couple of times, but there was never anyone there to receive it, and so they knew they could keep using it until it got spotted, and luckily for them, it not only gets spotted, but it gets them a kill, which is exactly what they wanted. Now Poison playing a different angle with AWP. Just kind of playing this mid-box. Now we'll shift over towards the bathrooms. There is a boost, and oh, it catches them. That's tough. Wasn't expecting that.
Great boost, and they're going to try to speed off of that. They know that they've got, it's going to clear everything just to be absolutely sure, but they know that their time is of the essence. Get to side, beat the rotation, but the CTs are in with the rotation. Obo's there by truck, doing damage. And they actually have a pretty good stronghold still, a Complexity on this A bomb site. And the utility's running out for Furia. They've got to make their move now. And as they do, they'll move straight into Obo's crosshairs. And the trades come through. Now it's down to Rush on that B rotation. And they don't know if he's coming in on the flank or not. I'm not sure if they've heard a sound cue, but now they certainly know. The HE will give it away. And oh, the bomb was in connector. I didn't spot that. So over to B they go. And Rush is left wondering what is going on. He'll soon figure it out. But we can't put it past Rush with the games he's been having that he could still maybe pull something off here.
Question is he going to want to go for it? Is the other thing to think about. Is obviously fast rotations for him to get over to the side of the map, but still, what is he going to do? It does seem like he wants to try. He's incendiaring. He's getting his way down here into water. Slowly working his way forward, and he does check, but not fast enough on the trigger. This case Rado will find it instead. That's going to be another round going the way of Furia. That is now a couple in a row for them.
Great entries from Henny there. That really broke that defense. They needed that one player to swing out from long, and he did exactly what they needed him to do. And that, as you say, is going to put Complexity in dire straits in terms of the money situation. We'll get that short B Molotov. Oh, actually, no. Going to get a smoke. And Rush is going to throw down the defensive smoke in response to those nades. Again, he's worked really well around that. You know, Dust obviously mentioned earlier how experienced Rush is in those positions. Experience definitely been paying off. Obo, the young gun with the deagle, looking to have some fun with that, and he can't quite get it. Looked like he was good for it, but no. On the drop, Vinny will be successful. Poison, he does not got the AWP, but he will be sniping with the deagle.
Not for long. He's been blocked off from having any vision. Now just spamming away wildly. Not much you could really hope for there. And so this round seemingly going to go the way of Furia. They even boosted themselves into heaven to really cut that off, and Art might even be able to backstab a bit here and get some guns down. Indeed, he does find Config. That's one weapon that's not going to be carried away from here. He's going to keep pressing another off the board. Art is relentless in his pursuit of getting these weapons out of the hands of Complexity. Just blame F now standing in connector with the UMP. He might just be safe.
Great recovery from Furia. You know, Complexity, they had that string of rounds in the middle. Those 4 that they got in a row where they had really sort of, it felt like they solved the pace of Furia. They solved really, you know, how to disrupt Furia at the key moments of the rounds where Furia were trying to build up, where they were weaker. But Furia, they were actually able to get a resurgence and stop that from happening, broke the economy, and took momentum again. So again, showing their experience and their preparation into this tournament.
Having a big half right now, and they could make it even double digits. They can convert this. They're looking to barrel into B as quickly as they can. Rush is playing up close around the smoke with the UMP. So far, nothing's quite happened, but now that flash comes in. That's go time for Rush. He's good for 2. It's a great little stop to the monster push.
6 stuff from Rush. That is such an epic defense with the UMP of all weapons. And now it's just down to Mr. Yuri. He's had some good performances here and there, but looks like Complexity are about to get that much needed 6th round to give them a better chance moving into the second half. And again, if you missed it, the first map was a landslide Complexity victory on Mirage. Furia with no responses. And Yuri will do what he can here, but little does he know that flank is a problem. The double peak comes through, and that is the end of the first half as Complexity pull out a 6th round indeed. Will that continue, Dust?
That's a great question, Dan. I'm not really sure what the answer to that's going to be. You would think Furia should be able to finish this thing off just based on their own familiarity with the map, and considering Complexity's had some struggles on Overpass since this team's come together, and they, in general, just don't have much experience on it in official settings. So hard to say. We don't know what Complex has been working on in practice. Same could be said for Furia. That's why this match, to me, was one of the hardest to call. But here we go. Something in mind here for Cole. They do have a smoke and a flash on Blame F. Everyone else armored up, though. So it's going to be like a kind of a simple play. And whoo! Goodbye.
See ya.
He's just painting the walls. He's doing art of his own with Art's brain all over.
That's why you buy the PC-50.
Yep.
This is why you do it. Those long ranges, those one-shots. It's accurate. It's got great armor penetration.
That grenade hurt, though. We'll say that.
But he's still standing. Still standing. And Complexity move forwards into the A bomb site, looking to find the frags. Rush goes down. Oboe goes down, and there's a little left to contest this bomb site with. They'll do what they can. Config finding a quick headshot, looking to turn the tide, but things are looking ever more desperate as it's just up to Config, and he's stuck behind this long smoke. They know exactly where he is. Any bullet will do it, and there you go. Vinny's got that bullet, and that's going to be Furia picking up the pistol once again. They've won both pistols in this half, but can they deal with the force buy that is inevitably coming in, Dust?
Yeah, it does seem like there's no question about that. Ooh, just some great shots. Vinny's had a hell of a game, by the way. He has been just strolling through Overpass. He's already up to 20 with at least 6 more rounds left to go, so he's definitely on pace to have a big match. Here is that force buy we were talking about. Scout for Poison, upgraded pistols for the rest. This is the storm that Furia must weather to get the free round in the next and try to jump up to that 12-6 lead.
Relaxing time around Monster for some of the Complexity players, just hanging out. Furia not being aggressive really anywhere. I mean, this is a fairly aggressive setup, I suppose, having one player in the connector against the force fight. Will work out, though. Yuri with that MP9. Really, really good SMG for the cost. And FAMAS has been improved as well, as you may have noted, given that frag. So, Furia, they are owning this.
Yeah, they'd absolutely crushed that force buy.
Yeah.
There's nothing to be seen here. Furia just gets another 30 kills, adding to his collection of a vast amount of kills. And
looked like Complexity didn't even fire a bullet.
Yeah.
Any of the players.
They didn't get anything going there. It's like before they could actually get whatever tactic they were hoping to run rolling, they were already done for. So that's a tough one. Now they have to take basically the full save. They have a few deagles, but no utility, no armor.
Vinny up to 23 kills.
Yeah, he's styling out right now.
Blame makes the run across the hot coals. He's made it to Party. Or rather, sorry, the Playground, or his Mixer 2 up for some reason.
Maybe you can have both.
Yeah, that's what I'm after, I think. A few taps there for Art with the MP9, so not really all that much going on here. Just seek and destroy as far as Furia are concerned, but maybe they've bitten off more than they can chew dust. Some of these aggressions were not necessarily called for. They have cost them some money. Might not cost them a round, but
a little bit, that's for sure. Poison gets another there on the case. That's a 2-on-2 all of a sudden. Oh my. Surely not. Surely not.
Well, they've got bomb control at least. That smoke is...
That's a big one to have.
Behind that bomb.
And he's worried, though. He thinks he's getting flanked from A. He's a lot of things they have to worry about at this moment. And time is still there for Complexity to play around with. And I mean, all it takes is a couple of deagle headshots, and all of a sudden they're done for. But you like Furious chances still. Like you said, that bomb is down in a precarious position.
Oof. Honestly, the Deagles, man, they can really do some damage here. There's the first peek, Vinny spots it, and they know exactly where they've got the bomb. They've got the bomb, they have time to go.
Oh my.
I don't know if they have time, actually. It's such a long run. I don't think so. They have to go through the short tunnel, and he can't do that safely. So he's going to wait around Monster and Blame. If he can get a headshot here, that's all they need, just that one headshot, and they can try to get a bomb plant.
They force the CT to rotate. Now they have a 2-on-1 inside the site. Oh, but Vinny catches that bomb carrier. Blame F now, not going to be able to land it. Well done by Vinny. Yet another multi-frag, yet another hat trick. He is just crushing it. That 26 kills, 190 DR. What a guy.
It's so crazy because that's one of the reasons why Counter-Strike is so fun to watch, because there was such a real chance there. If Blame hits one of those couple deagle shots, which is pretty reasonable from that spot, he can get the bomb plant, and it's a 1v1. So yeah, it's pretty nuts. Anyway, Furia getting a bit antsy there. That did actually cost them a lot of money. We'll see if that accounts for anything. As Complexity run the default, you're forced to throw that smoke. as the T side, because otherwise the TTs can get too much position. You have to start to worry about more, and you have to invest more utility to worry about all the forward positions they can move into.
Yeah, this is just Complexity's base default. You know, Rush playing outside B, Obo, Khan. It's pretty consistent across the map pool that Obo and Rush kind of take those solo positions, and you have BlameF and Config as that Danish entry duo, and obviously Poison. Usually opping, but he's going to have an SG this time, and still can be very threatening with it. Henny will have his op, though, that is for certain. He's on that same position Poison used his first round with an AWP. Not an uncommon spot, though, to be fair, so I'm sure Complexity will be keeping an eye out for it. You can even boost inside Party and see that spot, though I'm not sure if Complexity are looking to do that.
It's been quite a boost-heavy game, which is quite cool to see.
Yeah.
You don't often see it these days, as much as these two teams have been going for it. Henny trying to work that position that Poison had before with so much success, but trade around the divided position, and Config's looking for that trade fragger. What on earth is that from Art? That's a fantastic kill. Config was waiting for it with the AK, but that wide swing on that FAMAS proves successful, although unlikely. And now Rush is called to action. Somebody's got to open up the map here. Rush, he can't get it. The trade comes through from Poison, so that's at least something, but the time is against Complexity. They've got to rush to the site and get that bomb planted. It's just Poison left, and he can't make the cross. Henny's got it covered. Great stuff from Furia in this one, and they move to 13. Now it starts to get desperate for Complexity.
Yeah, money is low as well as the big problem. They're going to have to take kind of a halfway approach this round. They'll buy a couple of upgraded pistols and some armor, but they're not going to go fully into it. They want to make sure they get a nice full buy in the next round so that when Furia go for a map point, they can actually pose a real challenge to it. But they do have some nade stacking options here that they've been able to buy all these HE grenades. Again, Deagles can be very pesky to deal with, so there are still some outs for them, but their real focus is probably in the next round. But they'll see what they can do in this one. This is kind of their other favorite opening, is this 1-1-3, but they actually fall off a beat pretty quickly. I think they were just trying to nade stack something and hope they could get a kill, but it didn't happen, so now they will just flex back over towards Fountain.
And he with the AWP is looking to make a quick flick, but with Yuri there for support, even if he misses, it's going to be okay. It might even serve to be a bait. In fact, the bait works both ways. Ooh, that's almost a disaster for Yuri. Survives, but he is very weak. They know it. They want to get him, and they will do exactly that. They know that he can't just back into long. He was trapped. Ars stepped up now. Takes down the bomber, but he's taking some damage as well. This looks quite dangerous, Furia.
Yeah, definitely some stress being felt in all this, I feel like. Art trying to get out of the tension right now as he packs off into the site. Happy to be alive after getting chipped away at so very much. And that was an M4 in Rush's hands. He also has head armor, so he can actually pack a big punch alongside the Deagles of Obo and BlameF, and certainly they're capable Deaglers as they do push their way into the truck, and there it is. Obo's found Art. Now it's a problem. He misses a shot. They're making their way in. He continues to miss, and they continue to gain ground because of it, and that bomb's actually going to get planted, and Obo pushes through for a big kill and so much control of the map now. He might find another. No, Henny does hold on to that.
And I think he got dinged by the Deagle for a wall or something. He's very weak at this point. Rush looking to find a timing there, taking control of Bank. It's a great position to have. BlameF, not an easy shot to make. Keeps the pressure up, does tag Keserato. And they might be focusing on his position. Rush now is all on him. Oh my god, that's so smart. Just trying to bait out the shot. Rush, oh! Rush, he gets one headshot. Unlikely, but he pulls it off. Up to Henny. Rush has set BlameF up, and he's going to go for the slam dunk. And Complexity win an unlikely, but so very needed round. And Furia, their money, it's not in a great place because of this.
It's not. And that could be the catalyst now for something truly special if Complexity are able to keep this rolling. That is such a crazy round to win. As you noted, it's just not one of those ones you can't really expect, but when it does happen, it's great. And again, this is that other opening they like to run where they let Rush and BlameF go for really fast short B control, and they let Config hold Monster. And then Obo just plays his normal kind of default position and poisons that solo man with the op at A. They do spot a boost and connector this time around, but while damage is dealt, they don't get any frags off of it, but at least they're aware of that connector presence. So this opening and their 3-1-1 default are the things you'll probably see them do most often, just to kind of let you folks know. But I'm sure we'll see some fast-paced executes as well, Dan. We know that they like to play aggressive. And finally, they finish off one of those weakened players.
Silence
We know what's happening.
before the storm. Full boost coming in. They want to get ahead of the play.
Oh, yes.
Timing works out here. There's one, but nobody else to be spotted. The rest are towards Monster, where the kill just was. So Complexity actually come out somewhat okay from that boost, that triple boost, and they should be good to go. Blameless ready for the peak, just holding those angles beautifully. Great anticipation from Blame in that situation. And it looks like they will be good to finish the round. And I'm still thinking about how both teams played that last round right at the end. Like that super clutch Deagle frag from Rush, who's getting baited by that huge wide swing, which was super intelligent from Furia. Both teams playing out of their minds in that spot. And
I think the big kill was when Obo jumped Optimus and got that first Deagle pick onto the A side. I feel like that's what kind of broke everything open. So some credit to him as well. As again, you're getting some pretty good performances out of the bulk of the roster on Complexity side, particularly Poison. And like I said, Rush has been, it's been a nice pleasant surprise to see him back in form. Between this event and Blast, he's putting up some numbers.
Yeah, I think, one thing for me is that it looks like Rush just believes again.
Yeah,
because this is the thing. It's like the Cloud9 prison that he and Automatic were on was...
And he was also in the Optic prison, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, well, at least Optic had a good run, and then, even though it was cut short, but at least there was success there towards the end before, Stan jumped ship. But yeah, he's on that. I think of just how how horrible it is to be on a team where it's constant stand-ins. You never feel like you're really in it.
Yeah.
And now he's on a team that is an incredible grouping of players, and he can finally believe again.
Yeah, and plenty of resources behind it as well. So there's so much to be happy about there. But here we go, a big gun round in front of us. Rush getting caught by Art. That's huge. He was trying to go for that short B control, but Fury decided to play forward on that position, and they catch a big kill, and this could really put a damper on things. The rest of Complexity trying to still make some way into B via Monster Tunnel and config the one leading the charge. No surprise there. Great entry onto Vinny. That's a big kill to grab. He's aware of the sandbag presence as well. Obo collecting it instead, and Config tears through Queserado. And they're going to get a 9th round, Dan, I think.
Ooh, the Yuri, though, able to deny the plant. That's a huge play. And Obo doesn't really have the spot on the site directly, but they're going to wipe them out anyway. So it doesn't really seem to matter. If you've got the firepower, nothing else matters in some scenarios. And Complexity, it looks like they're having a late and I feel like unexpected resurgence. Again, going off of that Deagle play, that crazy round that really could have gone either way. Since that, it seems to have destabilized Furia in a very instrumental fashion, given that what we're seeing from Complexity now is a huge resurgence, and now Furia don't have much to play with.
It has to build confidence to win rounds like that, especially that round. They lost Rush immediately, and they were quickly into a 4-on-5, yet Config is brute forcing his way through for a couple of big kills, and now we're just seeing them on cleanup duty this round here at the playground, taking care of all the littering going on as they finish off Fury, who, again, were just on pistols this round, to be fair. Couldn't expect much, but that's going to put them to 10 rounds, and it's got to inspire confidence that you've won 2 rounds where you were at a massive disadvantage to start, and you just collected yourself. You see Vintage Config popping out now at some big entries. He's starting to come alive in this map. And now it gets interesting. Now, all of a sudden, that 2-0 opportunity for Complexity is becoming a real possibility.
Yeah, it really is. It's an interesting look. There's still obviously a lot left in this match that could, the scripts can still be being written, and so Furia could find a way to turn things on its head. They did that already in the first half. We saw there was that string of rounds from Complexity where it seemed like they solved Furia. They solved the way that Furia were playing their T side, but then Furia showed that they had this adaptation to effectively, shore up the weaknesses that Complexity were exploiting. And then they were okay again. And that's still possible here. Furia are on another buy, and we'll see if this is a successful one for them, as Complexity now are definitely feeling a bit better about themselves on this T side. They found their successes. So this feels like a very decisive moment, Dust, where the story could really be told.
Yeah, I think they need, one more big round will really help drive them. And again, they're going to go for that same short B heavy opening that they favored the last couple of times. There's a boost as well in play, watching this tunnel push from Rush. Rush actually decides not to go for it, and they're just going to gather up outside Monster now, all 5 players here. And this is kind of what we're talking about. We knew that eventually this was going to happen, where you're going to start seeing Complexity look to just form a barrage inside this B site with something fast and furious, and they're going to let loose, and Config and company are going to be tearing their way through it all. Again, Config, another multi-frag entry round on the B bomb site to save the day. And now look at this, Furia already done with this, man. They have no business trying to retake now. And
wow.
now that Config's lighting up, bro, man, it's feeling likely. It's getting some legs on it.
What's really cool about this round as well is that Complexity made it look like they were playing a slow default, because in the early timings of the round, they had that short B molly, I think. You know, Rush was spamming a little bit behind it. It doesn't look like there's going to be a monster explosion. So what happened was Furia were actually falling back in the site a bit so they could play more B retake and have more towards A. I think anticipating, okay, we're going to move into that phase of the round where the presence goes towards A from the T side. But then, boom, the hit comes in. They're like mid-reposition. They can't even drop any defensive smokes. Completely exposed. So Complexity, they played that one out. They picked a great timing for that round. Very well done.
Yeah, I feel like that was like an audible, too. Like, I feel like Rush felt something when he was trying to go for short. He kind of called off of it and then decided, okay, let's just go ahead and hit Monster and just config, doing config things, man. Fun to see that guy back in shape. And now Furia, I mean, they've played such a good map through and through, man. We talked about it throughout that first half. They had a really big game. And Vinny, in particular, you know, nearing 30 kills. He's been playing so well. So you have to imagine that there's still some fight left in Furia. There's still a great chance they can force a third map here, but it's starting to slip away.
Yeah, that round from Complexity was a huge gut punch. You know, I think that winded Furia. It's good to see that they're taking a timeout here, because at the very least, they did get to save the guns. So that does change things a little bit. But
Cole has so much money, Dan.
They're getting close, yeah. They're really getting a lot closer.
There's no easy rounds for Furia for a while with this much cash.
Oh, for sure. And we go into more normal programming, I feel like, on this round now.
Yep.
The standard default is starting to come out from Complexity, 3 towards Fountain, Obo looking after Connector. Not going too aggressive there, though, and Rush just looking after Monster Tunnel, applying the pressure, playing that lurk.
It's also giving Poison a chance to finally, like, get an op in use. You know, he hasn't really had a chance to just, like, play out something slower paced and be able to, you know, make use of this weapon. So we'll see how that goes. There's definitely a player he might come into contact with. Is Henny playing inside the bathrooms, and as he might escape towards long A, that's when Poison might be able to catch him. We'll just have to see. It's all going to come down to timing.
All right, so interesting from Complexity. They're going to rotate out of the default without really taking bathrooms control or pressuring bathrooms. They're going to go straight into a B. And Furia, they have just rotated an additional player towards A to like help out that A side. They've got 2 players around long, so they're actually fairly far away on the rotation. And a lot of this is Art and Vinny are quite committed on B. They're going to have to do huge damage on the defense for this round to work out for Furia.
They have a great setup, though, for Monster, to be fair. Like, this is perfect to try to shut down a Monster push.
It's got to work, though, Dust. It has to work, because if it doesn't, they're in so much trouble. Vinny, oh, it's very, very dangerous, but he manages to find those first 2 kills. 4 kills, 5, everything now going Furia's way. Big shutdown, and you were completely correct. Worked out brilliantly, that setup. They hit their shots, they got the flashes off. Perfect.
When you have 2 playing close, the only salvation is if you're able to get off sandbags and be able to try to like blindside someone who's focused on Monster, but they just couldn't get out fast enough on that split. Everything got shut down at Monster. You can't blame Cole for going for it. They've been so successful on their B entries, but that time Furia was more than prepared for it. And you're going to see again, though, Complexity relentless on this. This time it's just for the short B control, not for the actual complete take. But look at how fast Play Nest come up, but he doesn't find the shot.
Ooh, Rush is forced forwards. He gets the kill, and there might be now an opportunity for Complexity as Rush even greater positioning, just jumping into the water. Savage aggression, but it's going to backfire massively. Poison alone with the AWP, he can't do anything, and that's going to be now game point for Furia, looking to take map 2, to force this to a nuke, to force this to a third, to have a chance to make a path to the finals. And
this is, you're seeing the other end of what happens when you play reckless. Yeah. You know, your opponent is going to eventually punish you for things like that, and I think that jump that Rush tried to make was just really risky. Thought he had a timing. He did push back the fire. He did get 1 kill, so I could understand why he was feeling it, but it's come back to haunt them. Now Furia at map point, a chance to force the third out of this series. A good chance at that. Again, though, at least Complexity had a ton of money, so they're able to keep these full purchases in play. keep putting their best foot forward as far as firepower at least, but now they have to calm down and start playing things a little bit more calculated if they want the comeback to still be a potential option.
Yeah, complexity starting to go for more gambles. You know, not relying on defaults and trying to mid-round and get a pick and try to make the call, like mess up the timings, play against rotations, all that stuff out of the picture. They've just been going for those gamble pushes, just hoping that it's going to work out. And it has every so often, but
it was for a while there, panning out just nicely, but these last couple of rounds, Furia have finally clamped down, taken care of business, and now they're in the driver's seat of this map. But Complexity still have some options to keep this one stringing along, as they do have control of bathrooms now. They have some good presence towards middle as well. Rush still keeping people honest on the B side of the map, but now he'll also fade off, and so it is definitely going to be a push on to A here soon, and it's going to be up to Henny's Op and some of these other members to try to put a stop to it and get them to nuke here and now.
And one of the impacts of going for the gamble style, actually I'll hold that forward. Looks like we've got a peek here from Henny. He's going to defend that. And the flash, does it come over? Or is that a smoke? It looks like a smoke instead. Another bit of utility there, but Henny still difficult to deal with. Great jiggle there, but still, Henny has help. He's not alone on this bomb site. Config will take down one. Henny with a fast firing is going to finish it off for a 16-11. And that is now this series, this semi-final, all tied up in maps. And we're going to a third and a final, and it's going to be nuke.